Sit. So hi, I'm Bex and this is Max, who is off. He's off to bark at a bird. Oh god, there's another one. Filming these videos is so much fun. I love it. I don't get stressed at all. Hello and welcome to April's Grow Your Own Happiness Sew Along. I'm actually filming this on May the 3rd. I'm way behind and it is really the last push for these seeds to get in the soil. So luckily 3 of them I can just direct sow, and the 2 here I've got, they will be sown into these trays. But first I need a cuppa, so back in a tick. I've got my cuppa and my little potting pal. Hello darling. And we're going to put it, there we are. You want to sit on here? Sit. So I'm not sure about that, Mum. Sit. Good boy. There you go, you can be on my video. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Trying to film here, mate. Got to sow these seeds. Are you going to sit and watch me? Good boy. I've got to warn you. If it sees a bird or a bee, fly, anything that moves, it will run off and bark. I'll have to cut the video and start again. As I was saying, come on. There you go, sit. This month's selection of flowers I purposely picked for cut flowers to make a beautiful bouquet. All apart from one, the nasturtiums. Although these are edible, so you can eat these and they are lovely. So in April's box I went with the bunny tails. So lovely to touch, they're just little fluffy things. And then we've got the Aster Lady Coral, really pretty flower. The Gypsophilia, absolutely perfect for bouquets, especially bridal bouquets. And the Everlasting Salmon Rose straw flowers. To start with, I'm going to take the Gypsophilia, the Aster Lady Coral and the bunny tails and put them to one side because I'm going to direct sow them. So no faffing about with them ones, just chuck them in the ground. But I will cover them up because I've got greedy birds that eat all my seeds that I sow. So to start with, I'm going to be sowing the Everlasting Salmon Rose straw flowers. Absolutely beautiful. And these are good as a fresh cut flower or excellent for drying out to be used in dried bouquets. So I'm just keeping my eye on Max because I don't think I'm going to be able to keep him outside while I do this. Come on, Max! My advice to anybody who wants a dog but hasn't got one yet and you're looking for the perfect one, if you want a really nice, relaxed, quiet life, don't get Jack Russells because they're mental. Then I'm going to fill my trays up with some peat-free compost that I've mixed with perlite just for the drainage, using microwave meal tray. And once you've got your compost in, I'm going to give it a little spray. I need to move everything out of the way because it's like a fireman's hose, this thing. And these seeds, I'm going to finely sow them on the surface and just lightly press them into the soil. I'm not going to cover them up much. So I'm just going to take the seeds, spread them evenly, well, as evenly as you can. And then once they start germinating, when they get the second set of true leaves, I'm going to transplant them into their own individual pots. So they'll not be in this for long. So I've sprinkled my seeds into the soil and then just lightly press them down, and I will just give them a light covering of vermiculite. I'm not going to cover with compost because I'm really late with sowing these seeds. I need them to germinate as quickly as possible. So the more light and heat they get, the better. There we go. So that's that one. Done. No. Done it again. Forgot my plant labels. Always label your plants, because there's so many times when I've sown seeds and they've started germinating and I have absolutely no idea what they are. So it's really important to label your plants, but I'll do that in a bit. The next one, nasturtium. Here we are. See it? The edible one. These are lovely little flowers and I absolutely adore this shade of colour. Love the salmon pinks, corally colours. They're just beautiful. I've not actually tasted them, but people use them in salads and decoration on desserts, and people that have tasted them have said they're a little bit peppery, so who knows, I'll get to taste them this summer hopefully. So with the nasturtiums, they can either be sown indoors from February to May, or you can direct sow them from April to June. So it's up to you whether you want to sow them indoors or pop them straight outside. I'm going to sow them in here and pop them in the greenhouse, because although direct sowing is really easy, it's not my favourite way of sowing seeds. So yeah, I like to know where I'm putting my flowers and where they're going to grow. So the direct sowing, it's a bit of a lottery, and you don't know whether the seed's going to get eaten by birds or even germinate at all. So because I really want to make sure these germinate, I'm going to put them inside. So I'm just going to fill the tray up. These seeds can take up to 10 to 14 days to germinate. So don't worry after a few days you think, oh, there's nothing happening. Take a bit longer than usual. And when you look at the seeds themselves, they are like dried out peas. So they're quite hard, which is probably the reason why they take so long to germinate, to crack out that hard shell. Press this down. So I'm just going to pop one seed per cell, because they're quite big, these seeds. And cover lightly with a bit of compost and give them a good water. Now, if you are sowing these indoors, just remember that before you transplant them outside, they will need hardening off. So it's a good idea to start the process and harden them off for about a week. Throw my little seeds in, cover them up. And give them a nice little shower. Lovely. So these little flowers perform really well in pots, or you can have them in your borders and they make brilliant ground cover because they like to spread. So that's all for the sowing in this month. So grow your own happiness. I will direct sow these in my garden, because in the front garden I'm having like yellow, peach, creams, corals and orange colours in the front, and in the back more pinks, purples, blues. So that's it for April's Grow Your Own Happiness. Gorgeous selection of flowers. This has to be one of my favourite boxes. I am so excited to see all these flowers in bloom and make my own little homemade bouquet. So until next time, bye for now, and have fun sowing and growing your own happiness.